There's something powerful about habits. They shape us, define us, and ultimately determine where we end up in life. Most people don't realize this. Most people think success is about luck or talent. But let me tell you, it's not. Success is about discipline. And there's one habit, just one, that changes everything. This habit is simple yet profound. It's the habit of personal development, the habit of investing in yourself every single day. Think about it. What you feed your mind determines what comes out in your actions, your decisions, your results. If you want to change your life, you have to start by changing your thinking. And how do you do that? By learning, by reading, by listening, by growing. Now here's the truth. Most people stop learning the moment they leave school. They close their books, they settle into routines, and they wonder why their lives never improve. They say, I'm too busy, or I don't have time. But here's the thing, you don't find time, you make time. Every successful person I've ever studied made time for growth. They didn't wait for inspiration to strike. They created it. They carved out moments in their day to learn, to reflect, to grow. Imagine this, if you spent just 30 minutes a day reading a good book, listening to an inspiring talk, or learning a new skill, how much would you know in a year? Let me do the math for you. 30 minutes a day adds up to 82 hours a year. That's like taking a full college course in self-education. In 5 years, you'd have nearly 1,000 hours of knowledge and wisdom working for you. How could your life not change? But here's the real magic. When you commit to this habit, something incredible happens. You start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. You start solving problems with ease because you've trained your mind to think differently. Your confidence grows because you know more than most people around you. And as your confidence grows, so does your ability to take action. Action leads to results, and results lead to success. Let me share a little secret with you. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't miles. It's pages. It's chapters. It's paragraphs filled with ideas, strategies, and insights waiting to transform your life. The answers are already out there. All you have to do is pick them up, absorb them, and apply them. So here's my challenge to you. Start small. Grab a book. Find a podcast. Listen to someone who inspires you. Dedicate just 30 minutes today to feeding your mind. Then do it again tomorrow. And the next day, make it a habit. Watch what happens when you consistently invest in yourself. Watch how your world begins to shift. Watch how doors open that once seemed locked. Because here's the bottom line. Life rewards those who are willing to grow. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters that you start. And if you keep going, if you stay committed to this one habit, I promise you, your future will look nothing like your past. Let's talk about why this habit works so well. Why does investing in yourself make such a massive difference? Well, think of it this way. Your mind is like soil. If you plant seeds of knowledge and water them with consistent effort, they'll grow into trees of opportunity. But if you leave the soil barren, nothing will flourish. You can't expect to reap a harvest without planting first. Personal development is the seed, and success is the fruit. Now, some people hesitate because they feel overwhelmed. They look at all the books, courses, podcasts, and videos out there and they freeze. Where do I even begin? They ask themselves. The answer is simple. Anywhere. Just start. Pick one resource, any resource, and dive in. It doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that you're moving forward. Progress always beats perfection. Remember, it's not about consuming everything. It's about applying what you learn. One idea properly implemented can change your life. Here's another key point. When you commit to personal growth, you begin to see challenges differently. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, you start viewing them as stepping stones. Why? Because every challenge becomes an opportunity to apply what you've learned. Every setback becomes a chance to test your resilience. Every failure becomes feedback. And when you approach life this way, you realize something incredible. No experience is wasted. Even the tough times teach you something valuable if you're willing to learn. Think about it. How many times have you faced a problem and thought, I don't know how to handle this? Now imagine having a toolbox filled with strategies and insights gained from years of learning. Suddenly those problems don't seem so daunting anymore. You've equipped yourself with the tools to overcome anything that comes your way. That's the power of personal development. It prepares you for life's toughest moments. But let's be honest, building this habit isn't always easy. There will be days when you don't feel motivated, days when distractions pull you away, days when you'd rather scroll through social media than pick up a book. That's okay. We all face resistance. The trick is to push through anyway. Discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. So even on the days when you don't feel like it, show up. Do the work. Trust me. Consistency compounds over time. Speaking of compounding, let's talk about that concept for a moment. Have you ever heard of compound interest? It's the idea that small, regular investments grow exponentially over time. Well, the same principle applies to personal development. Every book you read, every lesson you absorb, every insight you gain, builds on what came before. At first, the changes might feel small, almost invisible, but over time, they add up to something extraordinary. This is why successful people prioritize growth. They understand the long-term impact of daily effort. Now here's a question for you. What are you currently feeding your mind? Are you surrounding yourself with positive influences? Or are you letting negativity creep in? Be honest with yourself. The truth is, we become what we consume. If you're constantly exposed to doubt, fear, and pessimism, guess what? Those things will shape your thoughts and action. On the other hand, if you fill your mind with inspiration, wisdom, and encouragement, you'll naturally rise to a higher level. This brings me to another critical aspect of personal development: choosing the right resources. Not everything out there is worth your time. Some books are shallow, some podcasts lack substance, some speakers just want to entertain, not educate. So how do you decide what to focus on? Look for quality over quantity. Seek out timeless principles rather than fleeting trends. Find mentors, whether through their words or their work, who embody the values and results you admire. Surround yourself with greatness, and you'll start to reflect it in your own life. Let me give you an example. Imagine two gardeners. One plants random seeds without much thought, hoping something will grow. The other carefully selects high-quality seeds, nurtures the soil, and tends to the plants daily. Who do you think ends up with a thriving garden? The second gardener, of course. The same goes for your mind. Don't just consume information haphazardly. Be intentional. Choose resources that align with your goals and values. Focus on what truly matters. Another thing to keep in mind is balance. While personal development is crucial, it shouldn't come at the expense of action. Too many people fall into the trap of learning paralysis. They spend all their time reading and studying, but never actually apply what they've learned. Knowledge without action is useless. So as you grow, make sure you're also taking steps to implement what you discover. Take note, reflect on what resonates with you, then find ways to put those lessons into practice. That's where real transformation happens. Here's a practical tip. Set aside time each week to review what you've learned. Maybe it's Sunday evening. Maybe it's Friday morning. Whatever works for you. During this time, ask yourself, what did I take away from my studies this week? How can I use these insights to improve my life? Write down your answers. Create an action plan. By doing this, you ensure that your learning translates into tangible results. Now let's talk about accountability. Accountability is a powerful tool when it comes to building habits. When you share your goals with someone else, you increase your chances of sticking to them. Why? Because now there's someone else invested in your success. Find a friend, a mentor, or a community who shares your commitment to growth. Share your progress with them. Discuss what you're learning. Encourage each other to stay on track. Together, you'll amplify your efforts and achieve far more than you could alone. Of course, accountability starts with you. Before you can hold others accountable, you must hold yourself accountable. Set clear expectations for your growth. Define what success looks like for you. Break it down into manageable steps. Celebrate your wins along the way, no matter how small. And when you stumble, and you will, don't beat yourself up. Learn from it. Adjust your approach. Keep moving forward. Growth is a journey, not a destination. One of the most beautiful things about personal development is that it's limitless. There's always more to learn, more to explore, more to achieve. No matter how far you go, there's always another level waiting for you. This infinite potential is both exciting and humbling. It reminds us that we're never done growing. There's always room to improve, to stretch, to become better versions of ourselves. And let's not forget the ripple effect of personal growth. When you invest in yourself, you inspire others to do the same. Your energy, your enthusiasm, your determination, it's contagious. People notice. They see the changes in you, and it motivates them to make changes in their own lives. In this way, your growth doesn't just benefit you, it benefits everyone around you. You create a positive cycle that spreads further than you might realize. Think about the leaders you admire. What sets them apart? Is it their title, their wealth, their accomplishments? Sure, those things may catch your attention, but what really draws you to them is their mindset, their ability to see possibilities where others see problems, their unwavering belief in themselves and their vision. These qualities don't happen by accident. They're cultivated through years of intentional growth. They're the result of countless hours spent feeding their minds and honing their skills. So if you aspire to lead, if you want to make an impact, you must adopt this habit. You must prioritize your development above all else. Because leadership isn't about position, it's about influence. And influence comes from understanding, empathy, and wisdom, all of which stem from a commitment to personal growth. There's something magical about habits. They shape who we are without us even realizing it. Think about it this way. Every morning, you wake up and go through a routine. Maybe you brush your teeth, drink a glass of water, or check your phone. These small actions seem insignificant at first glance, but over time they become part of who you are. They define your day before it even begins. Now imagine if one of those daily actions was focused entirely on improving yourself. Imagine dedicating just 30 minutes each day to feeding your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and wisdom. Over weeks, months, and years, that habit would transform not only how you think, but also how you live. The beauty of personal development lies in its simplicity. You don't need fancy tools or expensive resources to get started. All you need is curiosity and a willingness to grow. A library card costs nothing, yet it gives you access to centuries of human knowledge. Podcasts are free, yet they bring experts from around the world right into your ear. Even a simple notebook and pen can help you capture ideas that might otherwise slip away. The tools are there. All you have to do is use them. Now let's talk about consistency. Consistency is the secret sauce that turns effort into result. It's not about doing something once or twice. It's about showing up every single day. Imagine planting a tree. If you water it once and then forget about it, chances are it won't survive. But if you nurture it daily, giving it sunlight, water, and care, it will grow strong and tall. Your mind works the same way. When you consistently invest in yourself, you create roots that anchor you during storms, and branches that reach toward new opportunities. Here's the truth. Most people underestimate the power of small, consistent action. They want quick fixes, instant gratification, overnight success. But real growth doesn't happen that way. Real growth takes patience, persistence, and faith in the process. It's like climbing a mountain. At first the path seems steep and endless. Every step feels hard, and progress feels slow. But as you keep moving upward, the view changes. Suddenly you can see farther than you ever could before. That's what happens when you commit to personal development. The journey may be challenging, but the destination is worth every ounce of effort. Let me share a little story with you. Picture someone sitting by a riverbank, watching the water flow past. One day they decide to build a dam. They gather stones and start stacking them across the river. At first, the current pushes against their work, threatening to wash it away. But they keep going, adding stone after stone until finally the dam holds. Now, instead of letting the river dictate its course, they've harnessed its power. They've created something that serves them, a reservoir of potential energy waiting to be used. That's what personal development does for you. It builds a dam against life's challenges. It gives you control over your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Instead of being swept away by circumstances, you learn to navigate. Instead of reacting out of fear or frustration, you respond with clarity and purpose. And just like that dam, the strength of your foundation depends on the effort you put into building it. Now here's an important point. Personal development isn't just about solving problems. It's also about creating possibilities. When you expand your knowledge, you open doors that were previously invisible to you. Opportunities arise because you're now equipped to recognize and seize them. For example, learning a new skill might lead to a promotion at work. Reading about financial strategies might inspire you to start saving or investing. Listening to someone else's story might spark an idea for your own business. Growth creates momentum, and momentum fuels success. But let's be clear, personal development isn't always comfortable. In fact, it often requires stepping outside your comfort zone. It means confronting fears, questioning beliefs, and embracing uncertainty. It means saying yes to challenges that scare you, because deep down, you know they'll make you stronger. This is where many people hesitate. They stay stuck in familiar patterns because change feels risky. But here's the thing, staying the same is riskier in the long run. Life moves forward, whether we do or not, and refusing to grow only leaves us behind. So how do you push past discomfort? How do you find the courage to take that leap? Well, it starts with perspective. Instead of focusing on the fear, focus on the reward. Ask yourself, what's waiting for me on the other side of this challenge? Visualize the person you want to become, the confident, capable, fulfilled version of yourself. Then remind yourself that every step you take brings you closer to that vision. Fear loses its grip when you replace it with purpose. Another powerful tool is gratitude. Gratitude shifts your mindset from lack to abundance. When you appreciate what you already have, you attract more positivity into your life. You stop seeing obstacles as threats and start viewing them as opportunities. For instance, instead of complaining about a tough situation, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Chances are there's a lesson hidden within the struggle. Gratitude helps you uncover it. Speaking of lessons, let's talk about failure. Failure is often misunderstood. People see it as the opposite of success, but it's actually a stepping stone toward it. Every setback teaches you something valuable, if you're willing to listen. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That kind of mindset separates achievers from quitters. Achievers understand that failure isn't final. It's feedback. They use it to adjust their approach and try again. Quitters, on the other hand, give up at the first sign of difficulty. This brings me to resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity. It's what keeps you moving forward when life knocks you down. And guess what builds resilience? Personal development. When you fill your mind with empowering thoughts, you develop the mental toughness needed to face challenges head on. You learn to adapt, to pivot, to persevere. You realize that setbacks aren't permanent. They're temporary detours on the road to success.
Now let's address a common misconception. Some people think personal development is selfish, that focusing on yourself means neglecting others. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you grow, you elevate everyone around you. Your relationships improve because you communicate better. Your family benefits because you're more patient and present. Your community thrives because you contribute more value. Growth isn't selfish, it's selfless. By becoming the best version of yourself, you create a ripple effect that touches countless lives. Think about it this way. If you're on an airplane and the oxygen masks drop, who are you told to help first? Yourself. Why? Because you can't assist anyone else unless you're breathing. The same principle applies to personal development. You must prioritize your growth so you can show up fully for others. When you're strong, you lift those around you. When you're wise, you guide them. When you're inspired, you ignite their passion. Your light shines brighter when it's fueled by constant growth. Here's another analogy. Imagine a candle in a dark room. Its flame may seem small, but it has the power to illuminate everything around it. Similarly, your growth lights up the world. Whether you're mentoring someone, leading a team, or simply sharing your experience, your impact extends far beyond yourself. You never know who might be watching, waiting for a spark of inspiration to guide their own journey. Now let's talk about discipline versus motivation. Motivation is wonderful. It gets you excited, energized, and ready to act. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. Discipline, on the other hand, is steady. It shows up even when motivation doesn't. Discipline is what keeps you reading when you'd rather watch TV. It's what keeps you writing when you feel uninspired. It's what keeps you growing when the journey feels tough. How do you cultivate discipline? Start by setting clear goals. Know exactly what you want to achieve and why it matters to you. Break those goals into smaller, actionable steps. Create a routine that supports your efforts. For example, if you want to read more, designate a specific time each day for reading. If you want to exercise regularly, schedule it on your calendar like any other appointment. Treat your personal development like a non-negotiable priority. Another key to discipline is tracking your progress. Keep a journal where you record what you've learned, what you've accomplished, and what you still need to work on. Reflect on your entries regularly. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Learn from your mistakes. Adjust your approach as needed. Tracking your progress not only keeps you accountable, but also reminds you how far you've come. It's easy to lose sight of your growth when you're focused on the next milestone. A journal helps you pause and appreciate the journey. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the importance of balance. While personal development is vital, it shouldn't consume your entire life. There's a fine line between growth and obsession. Pushing yourself too hard can lead to burnout, which defeats the purpose of improvement. So make sure you're taking care of your body, mind, and spirit. Get enough sleep, eat nourishing foods, spend time outdoors, connect with loved ones, rest when you need to. Balance ensures that your growth is sustainable. Here's a practical tip. Incorporate mindfulness into your routine. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment. It helps you reduce stress, increase focus, and enhance overall well-being. You can practice mindfulness through meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply paying attention to your surroundings. Whatever method you choose, make it a habit. Just a few minutes a day can make a huge difference. Now let's circle back to the concept of lifelong learning. Lifelong learning isn't just about acquiring information. It's about evolving as a person. It's about staying curious, open-minded, and adaptable. The world is changing faster than ever before, and the only way to keep up is to keep learning. New technologies emerge, industries evolve, trends shift, If you stop growing, you risk becoming irrelevant, not just professionally, but personally as well. But lifelong learning isn't just about keeping pace with change. It's also about finding joy in discovery. There's something deeply satisfying about uncovering new insights, mastering new skills, and expanding your horizons. Learning keeps your mind sharp and your heart engaged. It reminds you that life is full of wonder and possibility. And isn't that what we're all searching for? A sense of purpose, connection, and fulfillment. Here's a thought to ponder. What legacy do you want to leave behind? What mark do you want to make on the world? Legacy isn't just about material wealth or professional achievements. It's about the impact you have on others. It's about the lives you touch, the lessons you share, the love you give. And guess what shapes your legacy? Your commitment to personal growth. The more you grow, the greater your capacity to serve. Now let's discuss the role of mentors in personal development. Mentors play a crucial role in accelerating your growth. They provide guidance, support, and accountability. They share their experiences, helping you avoid pitfalls and capitalize on opportunities. They challenge you to stretch beyond your limits. Whether they're authors whose books you read, speakers whose talks you listen to, or individuals you interact with directly, mentors amplify your efforts and shorten your learning curve. If you don't currently have a mentor, seek one out. Look for someone who embodies the qualities you admire. Study their work, absorb their teachings, reach out if possible. Even if you can't meet them in person, you can still learn from them indirectly. Surround yourself with greatness, and you'll begin to reflect it in your own life. At the same time, remember that you don't have to wait for permission to grow. You don't need anyone else to validate your potential. Everything you need to succeed is already within you. Trust yourself. Believe in your ability to figure things out. Take ownership of your journey. No one else can walk this path for you, but you don't have to walk it alone. Build a network of supportive, like-minded individuals who encourage your growth and celebrate your wins. Together, you'll achieve far more than you could individually. Let's talk about the power of stories. Stories have a unique ability to inspire and motivate us. They connect us to universal truths and shared experiences. They remind us that we're not alone in our struggles. Think about the last time you heard a story that moved you. Maybe it made you laugh, cry, or reflect. Maybe it gave you hope or sparked an idea. Stories have that power. They resonate on a deep emotional level, bypassing logic and speaking directly to the heart. Your story matters too. Every experience you've had, good or bad, has shaped who you are today. Those experiences hold lessons that can benefit others. So don't shy away from sharing your journey. Be vulnerable. Be authentic. Let people see the real you. When you share your story, you give others permission to embrace their own. You create a ripple effect of inspiration and empowerment. Now let's revisit the idea of action. Action is where the rubber meets the road. Without action, all the knowledge in the world is useless. You can read every book, attend every seminar, and listen to every podcast, but unless you apply what you've learned, nothing changes. Growth requires implementation. It demands experimentation, iteration, and refinement. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is part of the process. Each attempt brings you closer to mastery. Here's a strategy to turn knowledge into action. Set micro goals. Micro goals are small, achievable objectives that align with your larger vision. For example, if your goal is to write a book, your micro goal might be to write 200 words a day. If your goal is to improve your fitness, your micro goal might be to walk for 10 minutes daily. Micro goals make big dreams feel manageable. They break overwhelming tasks into bite-sized pieces, making it easier to stay consistent. Another technique is visualization. Visualization is the practice of mentally rehearsing success. Athletes use it to prepare for competition. Entrepreneurs use it to plan their businesses. Artists use it to envision their creations. By picturing yourself achieving your goals, you program your subconscious mind to believe in your ability to succeed. This belief translates into confidence, which drives action. Let's talk about the importance of rest. Rest is often overlooked in discussions about personal development, but it's essential for sustained growth. Your brain needs downtime to process information, consolidate memories, and recharge. Without adequate rest, you risk burnout, fatigue, and diminished performance. So honor your body's need for recovery. Sleep well, take breaks throughout the day, schedule regular vacations. Rest isn't laziness, it's fuel for productivity. Finally, let's emphasize the role of gratitude once more. Gratitude is the thread that ties everything together. It anchors you in the present moment. It reminds you of how far you've come. It inspires you to keep going. Every day, take a moment to acknowledge the blessings in your life. Write them down if you can. Speak them aloud. Feel them in your heart. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It turns challenges into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. As you continue on your journey of personal development, remember this: you are capable of incredible things. You have untapped potential waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is a commitment to growth. One step, one page, one idea at a time. Feed your mind, strengthen your spirit, challenge your limits, and watch as your world expands in ways you never imagined. Let me leave you with this thought. Life is a gift. Each day is an opportunity to grow, to learn, to contribute. Don't waste it. Don't squander your potential by staying stuck in old patterns. Embrace the process of becoming. Feed your mind, strengthen your spirit, challenge your limit, and watch as your world expands in ways you never imagined possible. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Today, take that step. Open a book, listen to a podcast, write down one idea that excites you. Start small, but start now, because tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And preparation begins with the habit of personal development. Life rewards those who are willing to grow. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters that you start. By committing to the habit of personal development, you create a ripple effect that transforms not only your life but also the lives of those around you. Feed your mind, strengthen your spirit, and challenge your limits. Embrace the process of becoming, and watch as your world expands in ways you never imagined. Remember, tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today, and preparation begins with the habit of personal development. Keep going, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. The best is yet to come.